So it looks like Nicki Minaj beef with the Carters is still very hot because Nicki just dragged them for filth for trying to ruin her career and deliberately sabotage her. The tension between Nicki and the Carters has been bubbling under the surface for a hot minute now, but things are really starting to boil over a few months ago when Nicki accused the Carters of allegedly signing Megan Thee Stallion just because they wanted to make Megan into the new Nicki and overthrow her as the queen of rap. And let's not forget about when Nicki claimed that Roc Nation was out here sponsoring hate attacks towards her. But now it seems like the Carters have allegedly taken things up a notch by coming for Nicki's coins. Now, child, this drama is way too juicy to ignore because you know Nicki Minaj is finna fight back against them with all her barbs to expose their shady behavior. It looks like Nicki is finally ready to spill all the tea in this situation. And I'm not even gonna lie, it looks like Beyonce did her dirty big time. So let's spill all the tea. Beyonce flared up again recently when the VMAs announced Megan Thee Stallion as this year's host, and let's just say it got people talking. Everybody assumed that Nicki would host again, especially since she's been holding down the VMAs for the past couple of years. So when Megan revealed that she was the new host, everybody started talking about Nicki's rant about how Beyonce and Jay-Z are out to get her. They were not so crazy after all. So she might have been saying some real stuff for a long time. People thought she was just doing too much and trying to cause problems for Beyonce out of jealousy. So for those of you who need a refresher, Nicki's got history with Meg, Beyonce and Jay-Z, and it's not a pretty history at all. You probably remember the whole mess when Megan dropped her song Hiss, which had Nicki going off on social media for days. The song went to #1 and it probably was boosted by Nicki's rant and how she went on and on with Megan over these not so subtle diss that Megan threw her way in the song. Now, at the time we thought that the beef was just between Nicki and Megan, but what we know is that Beyonce and Jay-Z were involved as well, allegedly. Now, Nicki's beef with Beyonce and Jay-Z goes way back, longer than most people actually realize. There was a time when Nicki and Beyonce were super close, collaborating on iconic tracks like Feeling Myself and Flawless the remix. But somewhere along the line, things started to change. Even though they hadn't had any public blowouts, fans have picked on some subtle shades between Nicki and Beyonce. The tension isn't front and center, but it definitely is simmering underneath the surface. Now, for an example, in her song with Doja Cat Say So, Nicki said, "Why are you talking about who body fake? With all them filters in your face, you just full of hate. That's real A and keep your N home. Now you looking silly, that's worth a silicone." And fans couldn't help but find it odd when Nicki started shading Beyonce. But what really got people buzzing was how this drama kicked off just a few weeks after Beyonce hopped on the remix of Megan's hit Savage, with Nicki and Megan already on shaky ground at the time, and it didn't take long for fans to put 2 and 2 together to see what was really going on. And y'all know that when Nicki starts in on someone, she doesn't stop until she said her piece, because that was not the last time Nicki was accused of shading Beyonce. Because in the song Press Play, she name dropped Beyonce saying, "They said, why can't you be Beyonce? Daddy wasn't no businessman and mama wasn't no business owner. What an idiot, you can't be me, I'm already it." And guess what Beyonce's mommy and daddy were? Business owners. And that's when it seemed like Nicki started to distance herself from Beyonce. Once B got close to Megan and Cardi, and let's be real, Beyonce doesn't do bad press, especially when Nicki's name's being dragged recently due to her husband's action. So it wouldn't be surprising if Queen B decided to keep her distance too. That makes sense, right? But apparently Nicki wasn't too thrilled about things only getting messy with her ongoing feud with Megan, who signed to Roc Nation. When Nicki went off on Megan, she didn't hesitate to call out the Roc Nation several times, accusing them of trying to sabotage her. And her first tweet, she accused Megan of being bold because she knows that she's being backed by Roc Nation. She said, "B thinks she's a bully because she got a Roc Nation branch every year. Be mad at Party. He told all your tea, but you taking shots at my family? Get up on your good foot and go pose to your mother, you nasty serpent." She also posted a screenshot of an ad by Roc Nation on Twitter where they were promoting Megan's song Hiss. And she said, "Spending so much money and she was a little broke independent artist. Desiree, you gotta let it go, baby. The world knows she's A and can't rap. Stop trying to make a fetch happen. I just put out a song with no promo, no video, and it's already #2. She also threatened to expose Desiree, who was the CEO of Roc Nation, for firing people without a good reason, and also spending millions of dollars to prop Megan up to be the next Nicki Minaj, because they just can't stand how successful Nicki is, and they wanted to take her down a notch at all costs. She tweeted, "On the next song I delve into all the people Desiree allegedly fired for unknown reasons, and other things as well. So many people were blindsided and hurt by her. Allegedly she's willing to go broke to try to replace me. Fix it, Jesus." But this drama doesn't stop with Miss Beyonce, either Nicki's beef with Jay-Z too. Rumour has it that Nicki has a solid reason to be mad at Jay-Z and Roc Nation because they have allegedly helped Meek Mill cover up the fact he's laid hands on her. Back when they were together, a lot of people think that Nicki is just jealous because Beyonce and Jay-Z picked Megan Thee Stallion as their protege, invested millions of dollars into her. But in reality, that's not even where the drama started. It started because Roc Nation allegedly helped her ex-boyfriend Meek Mill get away with putting her hands on her and DVing her while they were together. Now, fast forward a couple years after, she and Meek Mill broke up, and Nicki announced that she was working on a documentary series about her life called Queen the Documentary. But word on the street is that someone from Roc Nation reached out and made sure she cut out the parts where Meek was being cruel and putting his hands on her, and they didn't want her making him look bad. Well, HBO eventually cancelled the documentary, but Nicki posted a snippet from the film where she talks about how she was badly treated by an ex.
My mother would let my father be violent with her, and she always brings up the story. As a little girl, I would stand in front of my mother and go like this, and I vowed, like, that's why I'm like, maybe some people would describe me as abrasive or bitchy or whatever, because I vowed from that age no man would ever abuse me, call me out my name, treat me like that. And then all of a sudden, that was my life.
Now, Nicki didn't name any names. Meek Mill definitely caught the hint and hit her with a cease and desist letter, trying to shut down any talk about the situation. This only fueled Nicki's anger, and she went off on him. She tweeted, "You a clown, you do it for likes. Twitter fingers beat women, scare the men. You beat your own sister and taped it. Spit on her and taped it. Kicked me in front of your mother and sent her to the hospital. Suckers Drake's D made you feel tough again. Move on. You can never stand on your own. You was around, see you soon." So it's no surprise that Nicki is still holding on to a grudge against Jay-Z. While Nicki has been vocal about her feelings, Jay-Z and Beyonce have been very quiet. But fans are beginning to think that Nicki might be onto something, believing that Roc Nation could be out to get her. Last year when Nicki hosted the VMAs, she made an interesting comment, hinted that someone had pressured MTV into dropping her.
Now listen, real quick. MTV is petrified because they got a couple calls yesterday, and people were saying, what if Nicki says this and if Nicki says that? And you know, and I said, it's okay, MTV, I can control myself.
Now this situation is getting real messy, and tell me down below in the comments if you guys believe Roc Nation is really out to get Nicki, and also trying to replace Nicki with Megan so Megan Thee Stallion could be the next queen of rap. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.